What is going on tonight, guys? So we are going to finish up the rear end tonight. So what that's going to entail is it's going to entail new seals and bushings. Seals and bearings. We are going to be putting in the spherical bushings though, and I'll just drop you right down right there to see those. So that's going to be these right here, as well as we're going to change out this cover with a nice aftermarket finned style, as well as we're going to put on all the brakes. So the brakes won't be a final install because we still need to paint the calipers and everything. However, it's going to at least get us excited, get us motivated. So to get everything started off tonight, I have actually been chilling the spherical bushings for a couple of days now. So really you don't need to do it like multiple days. However, one day is pretty much exactly what you're looking for with this. So what we're going to do, okay, and I'm going to probably move you right here, is I am going to add some bearing grease to the inside of both of these. So that's going to allow the bearing actually to go in there and seat without hopefully too much trouble. It's probably, I don't know, 45 or so degrees in the garage tonight, but maybe a little bit more. Let's call it 50. But the bearings have been sitting at 0 degrees in the freezer for probably 2 or 3 days now. So we are going to, I'm going to go real quick pause and go grab them. And we're going to try to slam them in real quick just with a ball joint press. I've got a couple of the things lined up over here on this side, but we're going to try to move quickly since they're still cold. The colder they are, metal contracts. So it'll actually be really nice once to get them lined up, and we can hopefully just squeeze them in before it actually heats up so much that it expands. So let's get started. Okay, so we went inside real quick and grabbed them. All you guys need to know for right now is this is the outer piece that will be just simply going in right there. All I'm going to do is I am going to grab my ball joint press. And that one's good. Okay. Well, again, it sucks, but you know what? It is what it is. So here's the back retainer piece that should just go on like this. Basically, everything fits in there just like that right there. Then you have a bolt. It goes through just like that. In a perfect world, that's everything you need. So, okay. I got to pull out the pipe wrench. So see if this is, pipe wrench is running out. There we go. Okay. Oh well, so do it like this. Don't do it like this. You just have to watch the OD. Oh, it sucks. But okay, now we need to pivot then to getting the old bearings and seals out of the ends of the axle tubes. So if you've never done one of these, they're pretty straightforward to do. So the first thing you're going to have to do is to remove the seal. Usually you can take either like a big screwdriver or something like that to get this out. However, I have also previously had success with using the actual bearing tool. So right here is an actual bearing tool directly designed to be used to actually take the bearing out itself, which is what we'll be using. So I've had success in honestly just bypassing worrying about that. So you just end up sliding the tool in here. Let's see if this is the right one. I've never seen one with a nut like this before, but it's not here. Yep, right there. Okay. So, okay, I see what it is. Basically, we're just going to go in. So basically this tool I've got, because they always come in multiple sizes. So this tool will slide in like this at an angle. So basically this is like fully out, and then you basically fish it in so it goes like this. It sits on the back of the bearing, and then you connect a slide hammer right here. So let me do that real fast because I've got it right behind. So, and if you notice too, I do have a drain pan right underneath, just in case any gross old oil comes out. But basically all you're going to do is you're going to start this right here so that it actually starts in the tool, and then you just slide hammer out. So here we'll slightly adjust you, hopefully you can see. Yeah, there we go. You don't need a lot of force with this. This just really just needs to be moderate. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we got one bearing. Okay, it looks like probably the inner bearing let go. Let's see. Okay, yep, so that's the case. I've seen this happen before. Move these out of the way. Just like this. Basically, you just have to keep readjusting your tool to go right back on that inner face one more time. Just like that. So, let's see. Slides in. Maybe, yeah, so this is the way. Right here. Just like that. Okay. Again, much more sturdy yet again. Let me try one other thing. Even though it shouldn't be this way, I mean, you know, it's still knocking these out. So, take a look real quick, just to confirm. So yeah, so these ones are an inner seal. You don't really need to worry about the differences between the inner and the outer seals. It's just a technique. Some use, others don't, as far as manufacturers go. Let's see if we can pop this off real quick and see, maybe potentially that's holding it in, but I doubt it. Okay, that was strange, all right. Well, that kind of a little weird, but okay. So yeah, so it looks like this is starting to come out, which is just okay. We want to be kind of careful about that. Make sure that doesn't try to sneak its way out if it doesn't need to. So, let's put this back in there one more time. I think it's coming now. I think it is anyway. There it is. Okay. Well, that was an educational experience for everyone now, wasn't it? Okay, fun stuff. So, now, take a little bit of this. Make sure, kind of dicked it up, but it should be okay, just because the area that's all in isn't like it's not going to do anything, if that makes sense. So it should be totally fine. Obviously, I wish it didn't do that. That would have been cool if it didn't do that, but just like with the bearing, fortunately, it is what it is. So now you just want to get this nice and cleaned up as much as you can. So that's our TV. Okay. So now we are going to take the new bearing. Obviously, you want to double check to make sure that they are the same size. So let's try that first. Yep, looks good. Now, a little trick you can do to make your life a little bit easier okay, you want to be to actually coat the outer edge of the new bearing in oil, okay? Doesn't really matter what kind, just because it's just a lubricant more than anything else. So now we are going to use a fun tool called a bearing driver. Okay, so all it is this right here. It's a bunch of different sizes of this. Where basically you just like that. So actually we want to go a little bit tinier than that. Let's see, it looks like it goes down to 50. Might end up with that one. Let's see. Because this one, no, that one should be okay. We just gotta hold it straight. But let me see real quick. If not, we're gonna give this one a go first. Actually, this technically should fit this pretty much without issue. But it's this is a pretty nifty little tool. So all you do is you've got this. This is the handle. Okay, so this just bolts it in place. And bolt is a very loose word in this. So yeah, I'm going to go on the smaller side for this just to make sure that we're not running into any issues. So all this it really does is hold it in line. It's pretty straightforward. This end right here is actually where you're going to bash. So grab your favorite implement of bashing and then you just go tap, tap, taparoo. So it's going in pretty nicely actually. What I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to switch to the smaller one because I want to make sure that we get it fully seated, and I have a feeling this is touching, at least from what I can tell it is. I'll give it a couple more smacks. Okay. Now the nut retainer is totally optional if I'm being entirely honest with you. So like in this instance right here, we're going to flip this around. Okay. Just like that right there. I'm going to hold that real straight. Cool. So that should be it right there. So that is a fully in bearing. You could see it rotates nicely, nice and freely, so nothing wrong on that end. Throw that one away and throw this, well actually, so now you're going to want to cover, you're going to want to clean up that oil that you just put in there, because what you're going to do now is grab your seal. Okay, so before you smack that in place, it's a good idea. This is, again, you know, a lot of these axles are older, things like that. You know, I mean, you just kind of saw how we had to take this out. It's a good idea to take a little bit of RTV, just throw it right around the edge. Let me grab whatever I got available. So, since we're going to be using some gray from the cover anyways. Okay, right here's some gray. All we're going to do is just dab it up. You don't really need a lot. This again is just insurance more than anything else. That for whatever reason, you know, maybe you're using the wrong tool, whatever it is. This is insurance to make sure that everything seals pretty nicely. I'm going to use a little bit more right there. And maybe right there. Okay. So, again, nice and easy. All you do is you just coat the inside right there. If you want to, you can run it on the inside as well. I'm just taking the excess that we have right there, running it on the inside, just to make sure everything's nice and coated, nice and sealed. So now we got that right there. We're going to take a look real fast because this should be the same thing. just like that right there. Oh. That's what you want to kind of try to avoid, obviously, because you don't want too much contamination in there. That should be totally fine. And then just dab off what little oil went on there. Again, it is okay, so we're going to rotate that just like that right there. Come on. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. And then I am going to just simply wipe off the excess RTV just to keep it nice and clean. There we go. Yep. Now, if you're only doing this, you'd slide your axles back in after you did both sides and call it a day. But we are not only doing this. So, the next step here is going to be bolting on this plate. Let me see real quick, because this would be the inside and I believe it is this one. Because that's what I believe it's this one. So anyways, these are the Cobra mounting brackets. Okay, so I was able to find these on Amazon actually. Now they only should bolt one way, and it should be the rear. And these are kind of interesting, so we're going to take all these nuts out real quick. So, just like this right here, you're just going to run these in. And, oh, hold on, I might have the wrong bracket. Because it should be this one, I promise. That's what it is. I remember when we were pulling it all apart, I remember admiring how nice and straight they were. That's how I know that this is the right way. I also do know from the orientation that this is the correct manner as well. So I'm going to grab some Loctite. There's got to be a thread spec, torque spec to these, but to be honest, I remember when I took them off, they weren't like that tight. You know, these are really only just these are only really supposed to go in, you know, one way. Also, you know, there's not going to be like a lot of torque on this bracket. Even though it is a brake bracket, it's not like it's got like a ridiculous amount of torque. There we go. It should actually be a fairly low amount from what I recall. But these are also a beefy bracket too, so it shouldn't come loose very easily. Okay, so that part is done. In theory, I can put the shield on. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take the end of, or I'm going to take the cover off real quick, just real fast to gain access so I can get it lined up. And I'm actually going to put the shaft back in on this side. So you're going to just simply slide this in. Now, I've wiped this down several times, but most importantly, just make sure that you get these grooves real clean. These are what's actually going into the differential. Just like that right there. And then you want to wipe the mating surface off real good as well. Just like that. Okay. And then this should, there we go. Slide in just like that. So, sorry about the brief intermission. I had to fish some stuff out of the center there to get this in, but now she is fully in and we are in good shape as of right now. So now we need to quickly, needs a little 8mm action. Right here, I'll give you guys some more light too. We're going to slide on our probably the worst looking of all of these, which is the brackets. Now, if this ends up looking terrible, I'll probably take them off. Now, to be entirely honest with you, I've not tested these with the new brackets, but with that being said, I really don't see how that could be different. So, let's see real quick. Here is one of them. Okay. So it just slides on just like that right there. Now, what's difference between the GT and the Cobra brakes on these? One is a solid vented or a solid rotor, and the other one is a vented rotor. So now, if you look physically at the differences in these brackets, one's like a 1/4 inch longer, and that's pretty much it. So, but that's apparently the only difference you need. Now, I believe that I haven't looked this up, but I believe these are the same since. When I looked at these, the old rotors, it is a much smaller rotor than it is the overall size. So I'd be very surprised if this was the case. So let me just snug these up. Just like that right there. Perfect. Okay, so now that that is all done, just kind of trying to keep it clean on here because this is all brand new stuff. We are going to take our new caliper bracket. So you do need these. These are the Cardone part number 141042. If you are trying to pick the yard and say, oh, but they look so similar, Zach, they definitely are the same. There's a very quick visual indicator tell which ones are the correct ones you need. Okay, so here is the old design. Okay, this just happens to be the old bracket. Not really a big deal. I'll slide this out right here to give you guys the very quick and easy way. So here are the two brackets. They look identical, however, they are not. As you see, the Cobra one has this bracket right here. Okay, where this one does not. This is the standard GT designed bracket. This is the Cobra designed bracket. Okay, it's very simple in that regard, just like that. Goes on, very simple overall. Now we should be able to reuse our mounting hardware with these. Okay, you can see a little stuck on there, but might have put them on a little bit tighter than I remember. But real quick, I'm just going to slide these in. Now we are going to paint all of these, and I should say Sammy is going to paint all these. She's excellent at painting. I am not excellent at painting. I'm excellent-ish at installing parts. So we're going to play to our strengths, and Sammy's going to install, is going to paint the calipers. I'm still going to put everything on just in case that isn't as soon as I would like. Since we're not plumbing the full system tonight, that we're still waiting on parts for that. I think I have to special order the banjo bolts actually for the front calipers. So since that is not a tonight action, I'm still just going to put the calipers on the axle. Ideally, we'll put the axle back underneath the car, just to be done with this, to get it out of the way, to get parts off the cart, and to keep moving forward. So this is probably one of the most tedious things that you have to do on these brackets. Is you have to put these stupid boots on. Is that it? Is that it right there? There you go. Yep. And sometimes they fight you. Make sure you put brake grease, very specifically brake grease, not any other type of grease on there. If you put bearing grease on there, that would be great, as your brakes will seize up incredibly quickly, because they are not designed, that grease is not designed for that type of heat. It needs to be rated for brakes specifically. So, real quick, just make sure that everything moves nice and freely. So, there we go. Okay. Move this one out of the way for just now, because I need to grab one of our rotors. Okay. Here is the new rotor. There we go. And so far, so good. We're going to slide this off real quick, because we need to get these ones off. These end up being a different size, so I do not believe these are 9/16. Let's see. Oh, they're 15. Here's the old bracket. So in theory, with the old brackets and these old sandwich plates that I have, you should be able to convert, from my understanding, should be able to convert virtually any 8/8 that you want to run to a disc 8/8, because I believe that all of them have that same 4-bolt flange. So like say if we wanted to do the Ranger, we should be able to. So let's see. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure. Since I don't have the rear end fully set right now, it was contacting just a touch, but as I was anticipating, it's not something that's actually an issue. It's because the rear end isn't fully back together just yet. So, like I said, we were thinking that was going to be the case. So it's not a big deal at all. So, tighten these up. Looks like we need something with just a touch more power than the 35 foot-pounds we have on this. Not a big deal, because that upper bracket is still just a touch loose. Just like that. Perfect. That is beautiful. No contact, no problem. Okay. So we're going to take a little bit more of the grease, the caliper guide pins, Okay, caliper rides on these. Pretty much want these to be nice and actually clean, as well as lubed. There we go. Nice, satisfying squish too. If you get the good squish, that means you got a lot of lubrication there, exactly where you want it to be. It's a very good thing. Go. Okay, now we're just simply going to slide the bracket on too. I'm very used to them from the parts world. A lot of times part stores will run them because they're very convenient, and obviously they deal with a lot of different parts, so sometimes you need some variety with how you can label things. Okay, let's get this lined up. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Perfect. One side is done. I'll put this copper washer on there, just so that we've got it in case we need it, but I'm almost positive that the new hoses come with them too. And these should be 15s from memory. Memory serves correct. There we go. Cool. Well, that is a more or less fully completed side right there. So, the anti-moan bracket, let me move you guys. The anti-moan brackets would bolt in right here. Now, mine are too short though. So again, I'm going to leave them off for right now, and then what we will do is we will turn around and modify them later on. I'm just gonna check to see, how it is running without them. Because if it's not too bad, we might just skip them entirely. But we're gonna try running them without them for right now. Worst case, we can go back and adjust them or just buy new ones. But it's kind of it. So this side is totally done as far as the new brakes go. Everything's real nice, real nice. Let's see. There's that. Now these brakes and everything will obviously slide out just a touch because I'm trying to get this to feel. Yeah, right there is where it'll all line up. But that should be about it. So now just to do the other side, and let's wrap this project up. Last but not least, now that we've got the wheels back on, time to hose this out and get the cover back on. Well, that's going to do it on this project. So thankfully, everything is nice and together. I do need to still get some ABS sensors for these, as well as we need to paint the calipers, but man, look how good that looks. So that's just an aftermarket aluminum housing. And then these are the spherical bushings that we've got. Those will obviously tighten up. Stainless steel lines, Cobra caliper set up along with the rotors. I did have to take apart the rear end again and the other side real quickly to get the junction clip back in. Once I got that in, I was getting a little bit of contact on the driver's side that immediately went away. So if you run into this while you're doing an upgrade for yourself, make sure to get the rear end totally seated first and then go from there. So beyond that, we'll paint the calipers and caliper brackets. I'm probably going to hit these up with some black paint as well at that same time, since I'm going to have everything off again. But beyond that, the rear end is pretty much sorted beyond the ABS stuff. Here are the anti-moan brackets. So I've got to figure out if I'm going to simply just cut the top of these and then put those in, because those really just sit, basically they just sit like right in there, just like that. So I got to make that decision. I haven't decided yet, but it's not a huge deal. So I can buck up. See, the crazy thing is that the correct ones are 140 bucks, and those brackets, I couldn't even tell you what they do. So besides anti-moan. So, but beyond that, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us. See you guys in the next one, and hopefully we'll get this rear end back in the car and start getting it all together. Catch you guys next time.